Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I am the Crafty Crocheter, and today I am going to show you how to complete an Afghan project that I've been working on, and this turned out to be a really beautiful project. And the name for this is, I call it the Ube Ube Afghan, and the reason I call it that is because of the color that I've chosen. And if anyone's familiar with what ume is, it's basically, if you're not familiar with what ume is, it's basically a purple sweet potato. It's become real popular in the culinary world. So I decided, since I had this color on hand, I went ahead and colored and chose it, and I named it such because of the color, the different shades of purple. And I will go over the yarn that I used for this project and all the materials you'll need for this project, and also with the multiples and how much you will need to complete this project. So this is a very easy beginner project, and you see there's like a simple little border along all the sides of it, and this is a kind of a, it's somewhat okay. It's not a big blanket, but it's big enough. It's a nice little comforter, not a comforter, but enough to just wrap your legs in, have it over your lap. So if you're, without further ado, let's go ahead and we will get this crocheting party started. All right, so for this project, you're gonna need 4 cakes of the Caron Big Cake yarn, and it's 100% acrylic. It is 10.5 ounces or 300 grams, and it's 603 yards or 551 meters, and it's a number weight for yarn. You're gonna need 4 cakes of this. And the color I have for this project is grape jelly, but of course you can use any type of any color you want, or any type of weighted 4 yarn you want, as long as you have 2,400 yards total. That includes for the body of the Afghan and also for the border. So, and I'm also going to use a size J hook or a J10. It's a 6mm hook, or a J10. I think it's a J10. So if you have your hook ready, you have your yarn ready, let's go ahead and get this crocheting party started. All right, to begin the project, you're gonna create a slip knot with your yarn. And again, if you don't remember how to create a slip knot, I can go over that with you now, or if you can look back on my past videos and I demonstrate how to create a slip knot. So I'm going to go ahead and create my slip knot now. So I'm going to go ahead, loop this over to this yarn here. Do make sure you have the pretzel. And then there's my slip knot. And then the multiple for this project is multiples of 4. So basically you're just creating a chain with multiples of 4 until you get it to the width you want. But for this project, I'm going to chain 160 chains for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and chain a few with you now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so make sure you chain, and I've chained 5, but for total you're going to need 160 chains. So when you have the 160 chains ready to go, I will meet you at the end and we'll get started on row 1. Alright, so we have our chain of 160 stitches complete. Again, if you get this, so if you want it long wider than 160 chains, you can feel free to do so. Just remember that the multiple for this project is 4. So just make sure all your stitches are multiples of 4. So we're going to start row 1. So to start row 1, you're going to skip the next 3 chains from the hook. So make sure you count out 3 from hook, which is right here, and you're going to work a double crochet into the 4th chain from hook. And then skip the next 3 chains. 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to work a single crochet into that stitch. Then you're going to chain 3. Then in that same space, you're going to work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and then it's going to be number 3. Then you're going to skip the next 3 chains, and in the 4th chain you're going to insert your hook and work a single crochet. And then you're going to chain, after this you're going to chain 3 again. Then in that same chain space, in that same stitch you're going to work 3 more double crochets. One, 2, and it's going to be number 3. And then skip the next 3 chains, and then in the 4th chain you're going to work a single crochet. And then you can see how that pattern is starting to form along. So you're basically you're going to repeat that all the way down. So again, I'll work a repeat one more time, and then I'll let you work the rest of the way down. So after you have, there we go. Then after you completed that single crochet stitch, you're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, and 3, and then skip 3 chains after that stitch, and then within the 4th, oh wait, no, I'm wrong. So after that you're going to create 3 double crochets in that same stitch. 1, 2, number 3, and then skip 3 chains, and then in the 4th, and then after that, and then in the next chain, or the 4th chain, you're gonna work a single crochet. Okay, so then you're gonna repeat that all the way down to the very end. So it's gonna be, get this out here a second. Alright, so after that single crochet, you're gonna chain 3, and then in the same chain, you're gonna work 3 more double crochets, and then after that 3rd double crochet is done, you'll skip 3 chains, and then in the 4th chain after that, you'll work a single crochet. So if you have any issues with that, go ahead and feel free to rewind the video and start from the beginning, and then once you get to the end of the first row, I will meet you and we'll transition to row 2. Alright, so we're near the end of row 1, and you should have 4 chains left on the hook, or 4 chains left to do. So to finish it off, you're gonna, after you complete the single crochet, you're gonna chain 3 again. Then you're gonna work 3 double crochets into that same stitch. That's number 3, and then skip 3 chains. Skip the 3 chains, and then that should take you to the very last chain of the beginning of the foundation chain. So insert your hook into that last chain, and then work a single crochet. And that concludes row 1. So you see how that pattern is starting to form and come along. So to transition into row 2, you're going to chain 3, then you're going to turn your work, and then in the space between here, in the space between right here where my hook is, that space, you're going to work a double crochet into that space. So insert your hook into the space between the chain 3 and the beginning of this, like a triangle, and you're going to insert your hook into that space, and then work a double crochet into that space. Then you're going to work a single crochet into the chain space at the top. So you see this big chain space, you're going to insert your hook and then work a single crochet in that chain space. And then after that, you're going to chain 3 again. Then you're going to work 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. Some more yarn. 1, 2, and 3, and then go to the next chain space, and then work a single crochet, and then you're going to chain 3 again, and then in the same chain space work 3 more double crochets. This is double crochet number 3, and then in the next chain space over, work a single crochet to join this. And so basically you are repeating this all the way down until you get to the very end of the row, and then I'll work a repeat one more time just so that way you have an idea of just in case I might have overlooked something. So after you get that first single crochet into that next chain space, you're going to chain 3, 2, and 3, and then in that same chain space work 3 more double crochets, 2, 3, and then go to the next chain space and work a single crochet. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, make sure I didn't lose it. Oh, good. I might have lost it. Alright, so I'm going to explain the repeat again. So after you get that single crochet done, you're going to, after the single crochet, you're going to chain 3, and then in the same chain space where you just worked that single crochet, you're going to create 3 more double crochets into that chain space, and then go over to the next chain space and work a single crochet to join it. So work that all the way down to the very end, and once you're down to the very end, I will show you how to end row 2. Alright, so we're nearing the end of row 2, and to finish off the row, we're at the last group of double crochets, and then I'm going to show you how to finish the row. So once you have your chain 1 in this last chain space, you're going to chain 3 as before, then work 3 double crochets into that final chain space, and to finish the row, you're going to insert your hook, and you're going to insert your hook into the space that you created earlier when you started row 1. So insert your hook into that space and just work a single crochet, and that is the end of row 2. So to start row 3, from this point, grab some more yarn, and from this point you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to do the same thing as you did with row 2, and this is a one row repeat project, which makes it easier just to fly through this. So again, you're going to find that space between the bottom of the corner here, the corner, and then between the chain 3 space and then the corner of the triangle. So insert, work a double crochet into that into that space, and then insert your hook into the chain space on top of the triangle and work a single crochet. And then you're basically going to repeat what we did for row 2 up until you get to 101 rows. And then once you get to 101 rows, I will meet you there and we will work on row 102. Alright, so we're at the end of row 101 and we're going to begin on row 102. So to start on row 102, you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to work a double crochet into the space between the triangle, the tip of the triangle, and the chain 3. So work your double crochet into that space. Then and then gonna chain 1, and then into the next chain space you're gonna work a single crochet. And then you're going to chain 3, and then work a single crochet into the next chain space, chain 3 again, and then work a single crochet into the next chain space, chain 3 again, and then work a single crochet into the next chain space. And you're basically going to repeat that until you get all the way down to the end. So I'll work a repeat one more time just so you know what to do. So after you have your single crochet done in that chain 3 space, you're going to chain 3 again, and then into the next chain 3 space you're going to work a single crochet. Let me move this out here. Alright, so then after that, after your single crochet, you're going to chain 3 and then work a single crochet into the next chain space, single crochet, chain 3, work a single crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way down to the end. And then once you get down to the very end of row 102, I will meet you there and we will work on our border. Alright, so we're nearing the end of row 102. So to finish off the row, from so when you have your final single crochet worked into the final chain 3 space of row 101, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to work 2 double crochets in between the end row stitch and the double crochet. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets in between the end row stitch and the double crochet. One, and this is number 2. Alright, and that is the end of row 102. So we're going to go ahead and work on the border now. So to begin our border for this blanket, you're going to, after you've completed your second double crochet, you're going to go ahead and chain 3, and then to the base of the chain 3, or this little stitch here, you're going to work another double crochet. So insert your hook into that chain or into that stitch and work another double crochet, and then you're going to skip this chain 1 space and then skip the single crochet, and then into the chain 3 space we're going to go ahead and work a single crochet. So insert your hook into that chain space and work a single crochet. And then into the next chain 3 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then after your third double crochet, you're going to chain 2. And then in the same chain 3 space, you're going to work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and number 3, alright, and then into the next chain 3 space you're going to work a single crochet. So insert your hook into that chain 3 space and work a single crochet. And then I'm going to work another repeat with you again. So into the next chain 3 space you're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then you're going to chain 2 and then work 3 more double crochets into the same chain 3 space. 1, 2, and 3, and then work a single crochet into the next chain 3 space. And basically you're going to repeat that all the way down to the end of the border. So for the repeat, I'm going to pull this up so I can point this out. So after your single crochet into that chain space, into the next chain 3 space you'll work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then work 3 more double crochets, and then work a single crochet into the next chain stitch after that. So again, after your single crochet, work 3 double crochet into the next chain space, chain 2, work 3 double crochet, and then go on to the next chain 3 space and then work a single crochet, and you'll work that all the way down to the end. And then once you get down to the end of the first side, I will meet you there and we'll move on to the next side. Alright, so we're at the end of at the border on the first side. So to start the next border, you're going to skip the single crochet, skip the double crochet, and into the row end stitch between this double crochet and the end row stitch. You're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then from here you're going to chain 2, and then into the same space, into the same row end stitch, you're going to work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and your corner is made. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the next side of the border. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the border on the second side. So to begin, you're going to work a single crochet into the single crochet stitch between these two, between where you worked the border and these next set of row end stitches. So go ahead and insert your hook into that single crochet stitch and work a single crochet, and then in the space between the end row stitch and the double crochet you're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to chain 2 and then work 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3, and then in the next double crochet end row stitch you're going to, into this next row space between the end row stitch and the double crochet, you're going to work a single crochet. Then in the next row and double crochet end row stitch space you're going to work 3 double crochet. 2, 3, chain 2, Then work 3 more double crochets back into that same space. 1, 2, 3, and then into the next double crochet. Hit the camera there. Into the next space between the end row, double crochet end row stitch and a double crochet, work a single crochet stitch. And that is the end of the repeat, but I will work another repeat with you just so in case you got lost. So into the next space between the double crochet end row stitch and the double crochet, work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then in the same space you're going to work 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and this is going to be double crochet number 3, and in the next space between the next end, go into the next double crochet end row stitch and then work a single crochet, and that is your repeat. And so you're going to work that all the way down to the end of this side, and then once you get down near the end of this side, I will meet you there and we'll transition to the next side. Alright, so we're at the end of the second side of the border, and so you should have one end row space, and then you got this space here where you're starting chain. So we're going to skip that first end row stitch, and then I like to go underneath here, and then you're going to work into the space where your first chain is, and then underneath in this stitch here you're going to work three double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then you're going to chain 2, and this is going to form the corner. Then 3 more double crochets into that same chain, that same space. 1, 2, and this will be number 3. Right, and then our corner is made. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my work around. Okay, so to start the third side of your Afghan, you're going to we're working the bottom, we're working into the base chain or the base row of your project. So to start, we're working only in the chain 3 spaces only, so if you have any confusion of where those are, just look for these 3 double crochet clusters, and then above it, in the space above it, is your chain 3 space. So within that first chain 3 space, we're going to go ahead and work a single crochet, and then in the next chain 3 space, and we're skipping the chain 1 spaces and going into the chain 3 spaces. So again, if you have any confusion, look for these 3 double crochets, and in the space above it is your chain 3 space. So within that next chain 3 space, we're going to work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and in the same space work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and this will be double crochet number 3, and in the next chain 3 space, remember we're skipping the chain 1 spaces, and in the next chain 3 space, again, here's your 3 double crochets, and the space above that is your chain 3 space, and within that next chain 3 space we're going to work a single crochet. Alright, and that is the end of the repeat, but I can work another one with you just to make sure that you have it down, so you know how to work this side of the border. So in the next chain 3 space, which would be right here. Remember, if you have any confusion, you can also, if you see the chain 1 space, skip that and go into the next chain 3 space. And go in the next chain 3 space, we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, then work 3 more double crochets into that same chain 3 space. 2, 3, and then in the next chain 3 space, we're going to go ahead and work a single crochet, right? And that is the repeat. So after you work your single crochet in that chain 3 space, go to the next chain 3 space and work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then go to the next chain 3 space and work a single crochet. So if you have any issues with this part, go ahead and rewind the video where I start saying this is a repeat, and then once you finish that all the way down to the row, I'll meet you at the end of the 3rd side and we'll transition over to the 4th side. Alright, so we're near the end of our 3rd side for the border. So to finish it off, you're going to work, let me get this yarn out of the way here. This yarn here, excuse me. Alright, there we go. So after, you should end with the single crochet in the last chain 3 space, or the chain 3 space of the row. So you're going to go ahead and we're going to work 3 double crochets into this end row stitch right here, and we're going to form our corner. So go ahead and work 3 double crochets. 2, 3, then you're going to chain 2 and then work 3 more double crochets into that very same space. 1, 2, and 3, and you see that our corner is now made. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip my work over. Alright, so to begin the 4th side, so what we're going to do is pretty much the same method you did for the 2nd side, but I will show you again here. So what we're going to move this out of the way here. So what we're going to do is you're going to go into the single crochet space right here, because there's a double. Okay, so let me start again. So where we did our border, there's a double crochet end row stitch, and then you have a single crochet, then you have another pair of double crochet end row stitches. So we're going to work a single crochet within the single crochet stitch. So insert your hook and then just work a single crochet. Get my yarn all situated. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and start the 4th side. So in the next double crochet end row space, we're going to we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets into that space between the end row double crochet end row stitch and the other double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets into that same space. Make sure I got that right. Yeah. 1, 2, this can be number 3, and then in the next double crochet end row stitch, the space between the end row stitch and this double crochet, work a single crochet. And then we're skipping the single crochet stitch and then go into the space between the end row stitch and the single crochet. So you're basically going in between these 2 double crochets and working your stitches. So within that next space, you're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then you're going to chain 2, and then work 3 more double crochets into that same space. Two, and this is number 3. Then go into the next double crochet end row stitch space and work a single crochet, and that is the repeat. So I'll work one more repeat with you, and then I will let you continue that from this point on. So after you created your single crochet in that chain, in that double crochet end row space, go to the next end row double crochet end row space and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, then work 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and this is going to be number 3. Then go into the next double crochet end row stitch space and create and work a single crochet. Right, so again, for the repeat, you're going to, after your single crochet, you're going to go into the next space between the double crochet end row stitch and that double crochet, work 3 double crochets, chain 2, then work 3 more double crochets, skip the single crochet stitch, and then go into the next double crochet end row space and work a single crochet. And you're going to work that down all the way to the end, and then once you're at the very end, I will meet you and we'll finish it off. Alright, so we're at the end of side 4 for the border, and to finish off the border, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, this is row up here, 101. So we're going to go ahead and go to the, we're going to skip this double crochet end row stitch, and then we're going to go up to the base of that chain 3, up, chain, work 3 double crochets into that chain space. Then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work 1 more double crochet into that space, and then we're going to join this stitch to the chain of the turning chain of the border row of row 102. So I'm going to go ahead and just join that to the 3rd chain up, work a slip stitch, and then I'm going to go ahead and fasten off because we're at the end, and this is what the end result should look like, and that's the continuance of your border of your corner. So I like to do the chain 2 pinch pull technique. So 1, 2, this is the fasten off, and then you're going to pinch and pull, and that creates your secure knot so that your work doesn't unravel. And then you can weave these ends in as you see fit. Alright, so that is how you create the Ube Ube Afghan. And if you have any further difficulty with the project, I'm going to create chapters for this so you can refer back to each chapter that you're lost at, and then once you're done, go from there. Alright, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my other videos. So again, as a reminder, this is a safe space for everybody, so please no negative or derogatory comments. And I hope everyone's day is going well. So take care of yourself and each other.